It's gone up. Then you're going from having to play Division 4 teams, down on a wet, windy evening in Dungarvan, and you're having to slog at that for a couple of years, and then so you're moving up through the different grades units and playing better teams. And is there a sense of achievement that you can go and always find out how good you are against better teams, and even though you're hungry to see how good you are?
I think it's possibly a little bit more enjoyable. I think when you're playing, I suppose, maybe, let's say, kind of obviously Division 3 teams, and even, playing some Division 2 teams in Championship as we had, often the game is a little bit more open, and there's probably more of an onus on attack and trying to get scores, and you have to score. Maybe in Division 4, maybe a score down like 112 or 113 is good enough to win. I think when you're playing Division 3 football, and I suppose Division 2 will be another level again. You probably have to put up 17 points to win, and that just forces you to, I suppose, be a lot sharper in terms of your execution, and you also have to just really commit numbers forward as well. And that's just it's kind of a challenge, when you're coming from Division 4, but it's something that that it's easy that you can really get excited about, and we definitely have relished to try and kind of add additional elements to our game, and to try and kind of, I suppose, be more expansive in how we play. But it's easy to talk about it. Doing it is a lot more kind of challenging. And I suppose when we've had some games this year where we've put up a good score, it's certainly very kind of, it is something that you do enjoy. But to be honest, like winning any game in an inter-county game at all, that's all that really matters, and it doesn't really matter how you get over the line.
Sean, just in terms of like the work that obviously Adrian has done over the last couple of years as well, and maybe in improving the physicality of the side, and obviously you're working tirelessly with him behind the scenes. How important do you think that is in terms of where you've come to now, in terms of mixing it with maybe the more quality sides?
It's key, and I suppose there's two elements. So the first is staying on the field, and Adrian's very he wants to make sure that when the league starts, that we're able to kind of we're able to kind of stay away from injuries, or at least manage them. And I think if you look last year during the pandemic, I'd say we hardly had any injuries at all. You could argue that we had almost too few injuries because the team wasn't changing too much. It's always good sometimes to have a couple of one or two injuries, just to have so you have the team retained a little bit. But that's something that we've been quite good at. The guys have been quite good at telling us exactly what we need to do to kind of prevent, I suppose, kind of muscle injuries. And obviously there's can be a freakish element to some of these injuries that you pick up. That you're always you can't avoid all of them. So that's definitely one part of it. And then the other part, I suppose, is as you guys have probably seen, because you've been watching us the last 2 years, is just becoming more powerful and becoming faster and stronger. And that is something that you need to kind of, I suppose, max out on, to get to improve by an extra 5%. And it's something that he's been tracking. He'll tell you how you've improved, in certain kind of exercises from one year to the next. And his whole thing is just about he sets a program for us that will make sure that we can kind of compete in Championship, and it's not about looking good, or it's not about it's not about doing kind of certain kind of exercises that that might be good for other sports. It's very much focused on what gets the job done for Gaelic football. And I suppose the other another aspect that he's brought really is the whole kind of is the kind of I suppose it focuses on our brain, and and just I suppose the psychological kind of aspect of the performance. Adrian himself will say that getting bigger and getting stronger, that's not good enough. That won't bring you any wins. That just actually allows you to kind of compete. But it's your kind of managing a game and knowing what to do in key moments. That's what delivers results. And between Adrian, Jimmy, that Billy's brother, that's came into our team as well in the last few years. They've added so much in terms of just kind of managing our performance and kind of knowing what to do in any given moment, and that's been a kind of a big reason why we've, I suppose, kind of managed to kind of come through in these tight games.
And I suppose with all that said, and the journey that you've been on, it's really the ultimate test and the ultimate chance to challenge yourselves now against a top side, a side that a lot of people are tipping for the All-Ireland. You must be looking to embrace that challenge, and obviously it's a great chance for you to get out and I suppose really show your stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think the lads are just really like looking forward to it, and it's something that we've talked about, that we want to make sure we enjoy the occasion and not kind of I suppose shut ourselves off from it. We're going to be focused on what we do. We're going to be focused on on our game plan, but like at the same time, I think we're going to try and kind of look around and just just I suppose embrace the fact that it's not every day you get to play in a Munster final, and I suppose I wasn't even sure if I'd ever play in one, so I'm just kind of happy to I'm delighted to be there, and I just want to make sure I just give it my all, and I'd say a lot of lads are the same.
Sean, there's a famous clip between Carragher and Gary Neville about Carragher saying to Neville that nobody grows up wanting to be a fullback and nobody wants to be a Gary Neville. The way you play at the minute with the Limerick, like the fullback line looks like it's a place that people want to play in, like that yourself getting up the field. Mike Donovan, Brian Fanning, of course, got that goal against Clare, but you're kind of throwing away the myth that fullbacks can't play football.
I didn't realise that was a myth, was it? Well, I suppose, yeah, it is funny, and in some ways, the full backline player, it's a bit like a full back in soccer, in that a lot of guys that would play, I suppose in soccer, a lot of the guys that would have played kind of full back, it's the guys that play centre back or centre midfield that end up playing full back, in the Premier League, and that's probably the case for Intercounty as well. I don't know if Mike Donovan ever played in the full back line, or possibly not even the half back line, until he came in with us in 2016, and I suppose I played most of my kind of football around maybe the middle of the field, with schools or underage with Limerick, I suppose I played a little bit maybe in hurling, maybe in the full back line, and I was just, when I came in, I just wanted to do anything to get on the team, and I felt that that was, I remember when I spoke to John Bruder as manager at the time, I felt that was my best chance of getting in. And as you know yourself, as the game has evolved, and particularly you've seen teams like I suppose Tyrone and Armagh probably kicked it off in the mid-noughties, that you can, attacking from the full back line can make your life a lot easier, and I suppose that's something that we've all kind of embraced, and that's something you kind of have to do as well, otherwise kicking the ball through the lines doesn't quite work, I think, when the other team know what you're trying to do, so probably none of us thought we were going to end up there, but we're just happy to be able